Well, hello there, ladies and gents. How the very devil are you? Welcome along to the first adventure of the Aprilia Touareg 660. The eagle-eyed and well-travelled of the viewership will have realised that I am just short of the ferry port by the Hook of Holland, because I have chosen that the first adventure for the Italian princess is going to be a trip to the UK. It's been far too long since I've been home. It's been over a year since me and Ian were in Norway, and seeing as how he's got a new bike, I've got a new bike, I thought it was about time to ride on the right side of the road. I got up this morning, started off in a misty, dark Hamburg, fought my way across the motorways of Europe, well, just Germany and Holland really. And about the bike, I've got some notes, and to be honest, they're all good. I was actually expecting to find the ride a little bit more tiresome than it was the similar kind of thing on the KTM, being a smaller engine, a bit more vibey. But to be honest, the bike has been absolutely flawless. I've got mind-boggling fuel economy of 64.7 miles per gallon, and I think the vibrations have definitely eased off a bit. I think maybe through the braking period after the first service, after a few more miles on it, it definitely feels like either the bike is buzzing less than it was to begin with, or maybe I've just got used to it. Cruise control was an absolute godsend. Really, really relaxed, really chilled cruise up the motorway. And this little X screen from MRA on the front is also money very, very well spent. The screen on this bike isn't awful, but it's not good. It kept the wind off me, but it was incredibly noisy, whereas with this little jobby on the front there, it made everything far more comfortable. Anyway, I'm going to jump on the ferry, strap this thing to a boat for the first time, and then the next step is riding in England on it. No idea really what the plans are. I haven't really thought of anything. This was a last minute decision just to get home, spend some time with the family before the summer's over, especially as I missed most of it through the accident on the KTM. So just trying to drag in the last available moments of riding this year. Hang on, this is that's the freight entrance. I don't want that. That's England for trucks. I don't want England for trucks. Truck that. There she is. There's my Freedom pontoon. Right. Next stop, England. Oh, I love this bit. Tinged with anticipation, riddled with impatience, but mostly dripping in sweat. While the boat was coming in, it looked really eerie to begin with, as the cranes were appearing out of the mist. Shapeless forms like my memories of my distant homeland. But never mind, here we are, in Blighty, on the Italian. Hang on a minute, somebody's moved the white cliffs. It's alright, Rodders, we're in Harwich. Right on the left, right on the left. This is the first time I've had this bike out in the dark, and already I think the full beam needs a bit of adjustment. It's giving me a great view of the trees. Well done again, Aprilia. What do they do in the factory? Imagine they just stand around, fag in the mouth, hand in one pocket, just boshing stuff, slap, and indeed dash together. Yeah, bosh it out the window. It's got headlights, that'll do. They're upside down, Mario. It doesn't matter, Luigi. It's Italy. Gotta do something about that dash. That is killing me. I find it hard to believe that this bike has automatic dimming headlights, but no automatic dimming backlight. And now this. What is going on, England? It's like you didn't know I was coming. Good morning, ladies and boys. You joined me just outside Bridgnorth, and look who I found on its spangly new Triumph Tiger 1200 GT Pro. It's oldie bloody Ian. Hooray! And we are out on probably the hottest day of the summer so far, on the way to Aberystwyth for an ice cream, because what else do you do when it's sunny and you've got motorbikes? Those are some fruity sounding weapons. Oh, it's nothing. Adventure bikes, isn't it? A patch of gravel shouldn't bother us. A Guriad! Look at that, in Wales, we've seen a Guriad. kids were waving and you didn't wave back. And then when I waved at them, they all went, "Ray!" So now they think Germans are more friendly than the British. Oh, that's a proper pretty valley in a boil. I don't think they call them a burn in Wales, Ian. It's probably called a brach. There we go, at the front. This is a lovely road, isn't it? It'd be great without the cars. There's so many Welsh words that have got no vowels whatsoever. That one seemed to have all of them. Well, look at that, boyo. Here we are in Aberystwyth. And we just need to find ourselves a pie and chips, a bit of ice cream and some water. Oh, I do loves to be beside the seaside. You know, I don't think I've ever been to Aberystwyth before. I moon in. Right then, bike's parked. Get some nosh. Take some bloody clothes off. Jesus, I'm melting. Oh, looks like Alan is out. Well, there we go. That's Aberystwyth. Oh, that was bloody hot. So now we've got 3-hour blast back home, hopefully with a bit less traffic. Yeah, amazingly, I got recognised in Aberystwyth. I've finally made it. Glenn, pleasure to meet you, mate. Thanks for coming up and saying hi. I'll tell you what, on my first outing on proper twisties on the Touareg, I am properly impressed with this bike. You really can chuck the thing around. Sounds glorious. This is an absolutely great road. A 4120 from Aberystwyth. Awesome views. Marvellous twistiness. That was a special little section of road. Really enjoyed that. That would be worth coming to Aberystwyth for again. Otherwise, I don't actually think I need to come again. Well, there was nowhere to sit. The ice cream was shit. It was full of people. Mostly then I prefer to ride to places where not every dick and his dog has gone to. I tell you, boy, Wales has got some views, innit? But good morning and welcome back on the next stage of the adventure. Ian, once again, masterfully taking us forth into the unknown. We are picking our way, hopefully, through a dry corridor between the clouds up to the Snake Pass to do a little loop and then come back down again in time for tea. Look at that, we are in the Peak District National Park. Yeah, we're definitely in the Peak District. The views are getting more spectacular and the sweepies are getting more sweepy. Well, now for some proper Peak District drywall line twisty little single track lanes. Awesome. Left turn. This is unsuitable for caravans, Ian, so again, it's a good job you haven't got your panniers on. The place is kicking off! Oh, look at this, Ian, perfect for your adventure bike. Sorry, your tourer. Will you perhaps concede to the compromise of it being an adventure tourer? Oh, that's proper nice, that, isn't it? Well, it looks like we found the weather, Ian. Or rather, the weather maybe found us. But this is an interesting situation because it's the first time I've actually had the Pirelli Scorpion Rally STRs on this bike, the stock tyres from this bike. I've not had them in the wet yet. Now we are in the ancient elven town of Longnor. I think that was Galadriel. This is quite cool, isn't it? Look at that, once again in the lovely seaside town of Glossop. Right then, what can we do with 50 miles an hour? Warning, Snake Pass may have bendy sheep. Yeah, look at that. Sunshine for the Snake Pass. It's like it was meant to be. If only the cars could all disappear now as well. That is a bit windy. I think it's the only blowjob you're getting today. But when you can't go as fast as you want, at least the views are pretty impressive, eh? Ah, there's the lady water. I say, darling, I would love terribly to swim in your lady water. Well, there we go. That's the Snake Pass taken care of. Although it's good, I do actually think, because of traffic, 50-mile-an-hour speed limits, it's always a bit spoiled, isn't it? And the riding to get to the thing are actually more enjoyable than the thing when you get there. Just like the B500 in the Black Forest. I think it's got this iconic, legendary status. And riding there is great fun, but as soon as you get there, the road is all 70km/h limits, speed cameras, police sat in their laybys, shed loads of slow-moving traffic, and it's always just really frustrating and disappointing. Whereas the roads around it are absolutely amazing. That's a classic, isn't it? Well, there we go. A very recommended stop at the old smithy here in Monash. Wonderful cake selection. And a very interesting selection of crazy old classics showing up and sodding off. Yeah, so now we've got a blast back across the peaks. Strap in and enjoy the stone wall lined twisties. They are cool, aren't they, these dry walls? Rough on the edge there in the corner. Oh, you've got an adventure bike now. Oh, you when it's convenient, eh? Hello and welcome back. Look at this, we've chosen the perfect time to come out. The sun has been shining on and off all morning, and then As soon as we've got our gear on and jumped on the bikes, it's bloody raining. But as we've got the gear on and we're out on the bikes, we're going to carry on anyway. Today, the order of business is the Cat and Fiddle, so we're getting a bit of a tick box of the odd Peak District sites in the next couple of days, and then tomorrow heading onwards to the next phase of my little journey, the next family visit. So for now, strap in your flappy bits, love, put on kettle, make yourself a brew. Let's head back to Peak District, shall we? I'm going to get somebody to tell me now that that was a Lancashire accent and that's racist. Well, this is a bit annoying now. It's the first time I've ridden this bike in the rain, and I'm getting no rain on my face because the screen is stopping it, but I'm getting shitloads of rain on my face because it's coming up through the hole around the fort. Well, back at the reservoir with different weather. That's Bliffrey Reservoir. That's brilliant. You remember the Bliffrey Festival, the Bliffrey 98 from Norway? Too close, I'm switching the guns. It's definitely raining over there, isn't it? Yeah, luckily that's the way we're going. Which way's the wind going? It feels like it's going that way. Impressive moody views though, isn't it? We have got a pretty little country, haven't we, eh? Why did I ever leave? Cool, blimey, that goes right up, doesn't it? There it is, there's the cup of tea stop, just in time for me to empty some stuff out and put some more stuff in. Oh, what a beautiful lunch there at the, what's it called? Flash Bar Cafe. The guy in there was saying that he used to own the Yonderman Cafe. That was one of the stops on that UK tour thing that we did. And yeah, today, once again, very impressed with the cake selection, and the guy was just so lovely and cheerful, so big fat recommendation. If you're in the area, take yourself down to the Flash Bar Cafe because it was really, really nice. So there we go, there's the Cat and Fiddle Inn. And this misty backdrop once again. Oh, I've seen this before. That's a shame, but never mind. It's all part of the adventure, isn't it? There's less fog down here. Now look for the positive in everything. Every shitty cloud has a shiny, glistening silver lining. We've definitely got the good bits there. That was well worth doing. So looks like this is the last little section of proper twisties in the peaks before we start the dreary ride home. Meanwhile, have yourself some induction honk. Aye, that were right nice. With those last twisties out of the way, let's move on to the next section. See you tomorrow. The unavoidable, inevitable stretch of motorway to get to the bendy bits. Would have been better without the rain, would have been worse without the rucker. But as we leave the motorway at Worcester, the plan is now to head into the Malverns for a little bit of a blast around. There was one chap actually commented on the bike reveal video and said that a Touareg is perfect for blatting around his area of the Malverns. So yeah, a very good hello to you. I can see why this lightweight adventure bike would be good around here. Little twisty lanes with all the shit on the road and bumps and potholes. It still baffles me how quickly I got used to not having hedges and walls in Germany, because when you come here, your visibility is so reduced. It takes away some of that gung-ho caning around the corner feeling, and there's shit all over the middle of the road. I can really totally see why I'm on the perfect bike for this kind of riding. 180 horsepower super beast would just be wasted on these kind of roads. Whereas 80 horsepower of live gazelle-like Italian push is exactly what you need. Bumpy right-hander there. Sorry, no, bumpy left-hander. Yeah, true, they did put a pond in the middle of it. It's a bit of alright, this. Despite the moist conditions. Oh, I bet there's a lovely view over there, behind these massive hedges. God, that's ridiculous, these hedges, isn't it? So how come Peak District's got the peaks? Down in Cornwall and that area they've got the moors, and then in Yorkshire they've got the dales. But here, it's just the hills. Why isn't there a fancy word for them in this area? Yeah, I suppose so, yeah, the other names were all taken. They could have called them the Malvern Lumps. Right, time for a quick coffee stop and a reassess about which roads to go on here in misty Malvern. You've got to be kidding. Closed on Tuesday. Your mums are closed on Tuesday. Right, onwards. It's raining again. I see all the moisture running down the street here. This is it, the last little bit together, because now Ian's got to head up north and then I'm going to head south to go and meet my mother on the seaside. Right, well in 0.7 miles I've got a right turn. I think that's when you need to go straight on, isn't it? I will see you anon. But ride careful. Thank you much. Love you loads. Bye. Well, that's Ian gone on his merry way, so I'm going to continue on mine with a 4-hour ride down to the seaside. Let's have it with some induction honk. Well, this is the A46 on the western edge of the Cotswolds now, and sadly, once again, beautiful sweepy curves marred by double white lines and a queue of traffic. Still, the view was nice, wasn't it? Awesome post office. This is interesting. No, that's not what I was expecting from the map, that's for sure. With a big bunch of flat land all around me, that shows that the Cotswolds is now over. So a little bit of a shimmy left and a jink to the right, and then we'll be over into the south of England, into the New Forest area. Ah, the home of affordable menswear, Burton. And then the next village across, Topshop. There's the Burton Farm Shop. That's where the t-shirts are grown, as well as the free-range socks and the organic chinos. Tiddlywink! That's actually a real place, Tiddlywink. There's just so much traffic everywhere in the south. This is 4:30 on a Tuesday afternoon, so it's not even rush hour or anything. Yeah, nicely done, mate. It's alright, because I can go on both sides. Don't bother me. Oh, I've stuffed this up though. I was supposed to take the first right. Unlike all over the place in Germany, no U-turns allowed here. Oh no, you can take your European U-turns and leave them in Europe, young man. We are Brexited. There shall be no European U-turns here. What is happening here? Oh, hello, so that's how the locals do it. That's a bit of a bonus. It is kicking off. Alright, I'll let you off, Chippenham. No wonder there was a bit of traffic. You had a multi-car pile-up. Right, well, hopefully that's it for the traffic, and between here and Salisbury it'll be plain sailing. Look at that, Stonehenge is closed. Something else I can't show you today. Oh, nice cruise control brake for that right hand. Wow. Awesome. Thought they were deer, but turns out they're donkeys. Telling me there's an animal on the road? Look at it! It's beautiful, it's majestic! Oh, the donkeys are getting bigger, they've turned into horses. And now we've got cows, so absorbed by the wildlife, I almost missed my turning. It's like the UK's own savannah. That is a black cloud. Is it an omen? Who knows? There's a yellow sign, what does that mean? Only park in official car parks. Not going to be a problem, love. I have no intention of stopping. Boulderwood Arboretum Ornamental Drive. Well, it looks like the rain's found me as well, so that black cloud was an omen. Ooh, nice bit of Fordage. Got history with Fords. Don't mean the cars. With the New Forest detour done, back en route and off to Milford-on-Sea. With a glorious sunset about to happen in the distance there. And the Isle of Wight over there in the distance. So that's today's riding over and done with. I'm just going to plug in the address that Mummy Dearest has just sent me, and I'll see you on the next phase of this little adventure. And who knows what it might be, but I'll see you there when it happens. Ta-ra! There we go, another phase of the journey complete as we leave Shorefield Country Park. So as you saw the New Forest in the last section, I'm just going to take a lazy little blast up the motorway past Southampton, head up north to Basingstoke and then tuck in to the Chilterns for a blast. What a beautiful day for it. Unfortunately, that's the only bit of twistage at the beginning. It was really quite nice, though, to be back in this area. I actually went to university in Bournemouth. We had a delightful, beautiful sunset and a delightful portion of fish and chips, obviously, by the seaside. I mean, when you come back to England for the first time in ages, you need to get as much fish and chips in as you can, because the chips in Germany are not the same. But obviously, the best bit was the chance to spend another couple of days with the other parental unit. A couple of lovely days by the seaside with my mum. I think that's the thing I'm never ever not going to miss about being in a foreign country is family. Don't take your family for granted, folks. Unless they're annoying dickheads, and then definitely take them for granted and off abroad. Ten multiplied by 2 plus 1. Motorway done. Oh, come on, Macan Turbo. You Macan me sad. Oh, look at the lovely bunting. Is it regatta time here in Henley? Or is it always regatta time in Henley? It's definitely traffic time here in Henley, that's for sure. As I leave Henley and head into Lower Assendon, we are now officially in the Chilterns. Oh, I love it when the signs get like this. It tells me it's going to get countryside-y and hopefully a little bit wriggly. So hopefully now we're going to have a smattering of twisty roads, a couple of country lanes, and verisimilitudinous views. I don't even know if you can use the word verisimilitudinous in that context. Don't even know if it's even a word. You know it's serious when there's grass in the middle of the road. Once again, putting the Tuareg into its natural habitat. Well, kind of. Just dipping the tip of the Tuareg into its natural habitat. Tuareg's tip gets a dip on this little trip. Hope I don't slip. Jesus, the rocks in the middle of this road aren't just gravel, that's quarry offal. Quaffle. Single track with passing places. I'll take it. Squirmy on the moss in the middle. My pleasure, mate. I've got knobblier tyres than you have. A little bit of turd dodging. Yeah, there's too much turd to dodge. Bloody hell, I've seen it all now. An eagle? Sounds dramatic. The Hellfire Caves. Look at that. RAF High Wycombe. That's where the UK Space Command is. I didn't know we even had a Space Command. Oh, I'm so proud to be British. Bramble in the face. Just love that this bike, you can hustle it around like it's a supermoto. Just a very big supermoto. I did for a very short while consider looking into the new KTM SMT, but turns out there was no need. This thing is an absolute lane destroyer. Look at that. So it must be at the top end of the Chilterns now, because that looks pretty flat. So that's us out of the Chilterns and into Hertfordshire now. Rubbish. That's it for the lanes, that's it for the Chilterns, and all I've got is a relatively tame ride up to my brother's gaff in Biggleswade. But that blast through the lanes in the Chilterns there, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. And this bike has once again proven itself as the perfect choice. But anyway, I'm going to find myself a cup of tea and a piece of cake because it's about that time. Then I'm going to get this relatively boring section done. So don't go anywhere and we will continue shortly. Well, that's Biggleswade taken care of. The brother and his family visited. Now there's one last stop on this little whistle-stop tour of the homeland, involving a quick blast across Bedfordshire and Cambridgeshire. See my father. Which gives me the perfect opportunity to quickly take in the best bit of road in this whole region. It is also a very, very short section, just this tiny little chicane. That was it. East Anglia sadly isn't all that well known for its twisty roads. Fortunately, we mostly have flatness. Don't remember it being this bumpy before. Anyway, quick cup of tea and a chinwag with the bio dad, and we'll carry on. With us, my old haunts touched up for good measure. Nice to keep my scent on the place. But now, first of all, a boring blast down the motorway before I dock off the motorway here just south of Cambridge. Originally it was planned to be a blast across the bottom edge of Cambridgeshire and into Sussex, but looks like the traffic has other ideas. That is one thing that I've really missed about this country, is the fact that filtering just isn't an issue. In Germany, people would have pulled in front of me, probably every fourth driver would have beeped his horn at me. There maybe even would have been one or two that would have stuck their head out the window and shouted some obscenities at me. Right then, with the traffic adios, it's now a quick blast down to Harwich across Suffolk, wriggliest route I could find cross country. Well, hopefully be able to seek out my last fish and chip dinner of the trip. So, bloody hell, this is a disaster.
Your quickest route's back there, about a mile, chuck a right through Deepso.
Yeah? Alright, cheers. Thank you, chap. What is this plonker trying to do? Now traffic in the other direction as well. So in here was my detour, but that's not going to work, is it? Well, you Des. I've ended in a farmyard. That's no good. Go back on track. Honk if you like being back on track. What an amazing blast to finish the day on. I don't think I've ever come this way to the ferry before. The B1352 is a great little final run. Right, so the ferry port is that way, but somehow I'm a couple of hours early. So yeah, the name of the game, as I already promised myself, is to head over to the seafront and find myself some chips. One last huzzah before leaving the homeland. Home of the Mayflower. Didn't know that. Right, Vicky? Ooh, I'm not amused. Look at that. That is a proper old-fashioned English coastline, isn't it? I don't think I've ever seen a tower like that at the beach before. It's a lighthouse, isn't it? Oh, would you look at that? There's a chip shop called Mr. Chips. It's a good guess, but it's not right. Andy, you're back in play. See what you see, see what you see. I can see a chip shop. Success. I've got approximately 3 kilos of chips stuffed down the front of my jacket. I just need a spot in front of the water to enjoy them from. Well, ladies and gents, I sat here for a nice cup of tea in the sunshine. And look who bloody showed up. It's only him, the likeable rider.